Hello everyone! As you know, Mary Poppins Return was my most anticipated Disney thing of this whole year, and I have finally seen it, and I am so ready to talk about it. The most important thing I want everyone to know is that this movie is not a remake. It is a sequel. It is the sequel to Mary Poppins. So Mary Poppins is its own movie, and then Mary Poppins Returns is Mary Poppins 2. Do not go in thinking, oh, they've remade Mary Poppins, how could they, yeah. No, it is a continuation. That being said, I suggest you see Mary Poppins before you go see Mary Poppins Returns. I think another good movie to see would be Saving Mr. Banks. I think it gives you this really different side of Mary Poppins and how the Mary Poppins movies came to be, and it sheds a whole new light on this series now. And it helps you understand more kind of concepts of Mary Poppins and even Mary Poppins Returns. As usual in my movie review videos, I will go through all non-spoilery things, and then I will warn you when the spoilers come. So, to start off with non-spoilers. What did I think of this movie? I loved this movie. I loved this movie so much more than I thought I was going to. I thought this movie was amazing, and I suggest everyone of any age go see this movie. It was just beautiful. Like, the movie itself was beautiful, the story was beautiful, the music was beautiful, everything about this movie I loved. So I want to start probably with the music. I loved every song. I don't think that any song was out of place or didn't fit in the movie or I could have done without. I would have been sad if any of those songs got cut. The score of this movie was the perfect blend of all new original music with the original music from the first Mary Poppins. If you listen closely, you will hear a tune of your favorite songs from Mary Poppins blended seamlessly with the story of this one. Like, when some of the original characters come in, you will hear a little bit of score that goes with a song that they are related to in the first Mary Poppins. But it's so smooth. If you weren't listening for that, I'm not sure you would pick up on it. It just kind of brings back this memory of these characters, and you can't put your finger on it, but you realize later that it's the score that does that. Next, I want to talk really quickly about the costumes of this movie. We get a new Mary Poppins look, a couple looks actually. She has two different looks. I love both of them. I, for now on, only want to wear hats, coats, gloves, and Mary Poppins shoes. That will be my wardrobe from here on out. I want to be Mary Poppins. Which brings me to the characters of this movie. Every actor in this movie did amazing. I feel like I'm saying that a lot about everything in this movie, but I truly believe it. Everything in this movie was perfect. Practically perfect in every way. Emily Blunt playing Mary Poppins could not have been more perfect. I put her into the category of Johnny Depp playing Captain Jack Sparrow and Robert Downey Jr. playing Iron Man. You could not have done those parts with anybody else, and I think that is absolutely true for Emily Blunt as Mary Poppins. Even Lin-Manuel as Jack the Lamplighter, I thought he did a fantastic job. His British accent was fine. It didn't bother me at all. His singing, his cheeriness, everything was perfect for his character. The actors that they had play Jane and Michael were perfect. The newcomers, the kids of Michael, were spot on. And then, of course, we get a bunch of special appearances by other actors, and I think they all did great and played perfectly into this movie. The movie itself is actually over 2 hours, but it did not feel like it at all. Every scene kind of flowed perfectly, and everything made sense. Like, I would not have cut anything from this movie. So if you're looking at that time, it's like, oh, I don't want to go to a 2-hour movie, it didn't feel like that at all. Go see this movie. The last sort of thing I can say without spoilers is the message of this movie. I can give you a general idea of what you will come away with from this movie. It has a very positive message about being happy and believing that things are going to get better and can be better if you choose to believe in the impossible and be a child at heart. Life can be this great thing that it's supposed to be, and I believe that that is the message of Mary Poppins. I felt that after this movie, and I think everyone will. So, if you haven't seen Mary Poppins Returns yet, pause this video, go to the movies, come back, because now are the spoilers. This is the spoiler section. So if you've seen the movie, you know that this is a grown-up Jane and Michael. Michael has 3 kids and his wife has died. I don't know why Disney always does this to us, but here we are again. You know, Michael's going to lose his house because he's, I don't know, can't keep track of finances, whatever it happens. And Mary Poppins comes back to look after the Banks children. All of our favorite characters are back too. The original Jane makes a little cameo in it, and I love it when she goes like, "Oh, many thanks, sincerely," and then the score plays her music. I love seeing the Admiral again, and they don't make a huge deal of everything shifting in the house when the cannons go off, because we know that's gonna happen, but it's still there. Like, they give us everything a little bit, but it's not given to us just everything again, because they know we've seen Mary Poppins and they don't need to do that. Kind of the story that moves the whole movie along is that Michael is losing the family home, 17 Cherry Tree Lane, but he knows that his dad left them bank shares, they just can't find the certificate. No, the whole movie is Jane and Michael trying to find these certificates by midnight on Friday to save the house. And of course they can't find them anywhere. Georgie has used them to patch his kite. You know, like the kite, the Mary Poppins kite, which if they ever make another Mary Poppins movie, I feel like this kite has to be in it. And of course they end up saving the house. They have to. It's 17 Cherry Tree Lane. New characters that we get are Jack the Lamplighter, who's our Bert-esque style character. Talk about a grown-up who is a kid at heart. That is Jack and all of his lamplight leery friends. A lot of this new movie relates to the old one, so like we get our Lamplighters, which are our new chimney sweeps. We get her second cousin twice removed, which I think is like similar to her uncle. I think it was her uncle. Oh, I'm gonna be embarrassed if it's not. Topsy, her whole issue is everything gets turned around every second Wednesday of the month. Like Uncle Albert, who starts to laugh and floats up to the ceiling, and then Mary Poppins kind of fixes everything. And Step in Time is probably my favorite song in Mary Poppins. So Triple Little Light Fantastic is sort of the mirror to that song. So I was excited for that one. And it was cool. It had our big dance number, lots of Learys dancing around. When we have the Jolly Holiday scene is very similar to the Royal Dalton Bowl scene. That original scene in Jolly Holiday is where we have the live action mixed with the animated, and in this one we get that as well, and it's just as well, if not maybe better than the first one. They go into this bowl, this porcelain bowl, and they live in this animated world. I was wondering if they were gonna give Jack a solo that was very Lynn-esque, and they did. I was very excited to have him kind of do his fast rap talk in the Covers Not the Book song. I was expecting it. I would have been disappointed if it wasn't there, so I was not disappointed. I want to talk a little bit about just Mary Poppins herself. One of my favorite scenes is when Mary Poppins makes her grand entrance. Like I said before, Emily Blunt as Mary Poppins was so fantastic. Even just how she holds her feet and holding onto the kite and coming down into the park. I'm just like, I want to be you. What I love about her is that she is stern but still fun, and she doesn't make you think that you're crazy. So like when the kids are back and they're like, "Oh Dad, we just did this, this, and this," and she's like, "Tell him, Mary Poppins." She's like, "I don't know what you're talking about," but she doesn't make you think that they're crazy, just like, "Oh, these kids are full of nonsense," and you're like, yeah. So she never makes you feel bad about believing in things. she just kind of lets you run with it. Just the way she holds her hand and tilts her head and her facial expressions. She's just great. And in this movie, she even plays a little bit of a matchmaker, which was very interesting and unexpected when she sort of pushes Jane towards Jack, the lamplighter. And I thought that part was just so cute because it's not a love story. It's just kind of like a cheery. See, this is the face I was making the whole movie because I was just so happy. Everything in this movie was so fun, and Mary Poppins just pushes everything in this story along because she knows what's coming. So she's like, I'll be here until the door opens. Just like in the first movie, she's like, I'll be here till the wind changes. And, you know, when the wind changes, you fly a kite. And when another door opens, you know, you have start a new chapter. And that's exactly what happened in this movie. I just love the message of this movie because I feel like that's who I want to be. I want to live like a kid, but understand the real things that happen in life, but I don't want to take it too seriously, seriously enough to, you know, be an adult, but still enjoy the things in life. And I think that's the most important message of this movie. I have two favorite scenes. First one is, can you imagine that? The first adventure we get with Mary Poppins, where she sinks into the bathtub and is like, off we go. And I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. So we sink into the bathtub and she's just like, even how she comes down and she just is like, the kids are like flailing and she's just like swimming down. And we have this whole adventure. She's like, oh, this is nonsense. Oh, can you believe people think that? And then at the end it's like, perhaps a bit of nonsense could be fun. Perhaps, you know, what is it? Perhaps we've learned when day is done, some stuff of nonsense could be fun. Is that what it is? I don't know. I have the soundtrack on repeat because I'm obsessed with the music. You know, it could be fun to think that way. And I was like, yes, it could. But my second favorite scene was the very end when they get the balloons. Angela Lansbury, classic Disney voice, is there in the park selling balloons, and the whole Banks family's there after they've saved the house. She's like, do you want a balloon? And he's like, and Michael goes, I haven't had a balloon forever. Yeah, sure, we'll take the lot. So he gets balloons for everybody and he's holding it, and then he starts to fly. And I have a soft spot for anything flying related because that's just one of my dreams, is to be able to fly. So he's on the balloon and he's like, oh my gosh, this is what it's like to be a child. And he remembers all the things with Mary Poppins that he did when he was a kid, and he's just enjoying life up there, and then everybody joins him. And it's just a cool scene to see how happy everybody is just holding a balloon. My dad actually asked me if I liked this movie better than the first Mary Poppins, and I was like, I don't think you could have this movie without the first Mary Poppins. Yes, I know it's like a sequel, but if this movie came out today as a standalone, I think it would have done just as well. But this movie would not be possible without the original Mary Poppins, so I can't say that I like it better than the other one, because to me now they are all one. This is one big long Mary Poppins movie. Look at this amazing popcorn bucket I got at Redding's Theaters, I think. I don't normally go to that one, but they had the bucket, so I was like, yeah, I'll go to the movie theater for this. It's still fresh. I just went yesterday. I'm a sucker for souvenir buckets. And you didn't even have to go to Disneyland to get this one. Just go to the movie theater. So I went with Carson and Andy, and the whole time we were leaving the theater, we were just doing heel clicks. We're like, we're lamplighters. Carson actually taught me how, and now I can successfully do a heel click. In conclusion, I think it's very clear that I loved this movie. I laughed, I happy cried. I hope you all get a chance to see this movie, and I hope you love it as much as I do. My name's Aubrey. I make new videos every Thursday, so make sure you subscribe and follow me on all my social media, and I will see you guys next week in the new year. So, Happy New Year, everybody! And now I can add Leary Speak to my list of languages. English, Whale, Disney lyrics, Leary. I speak 4 languages. So I'm gonna tell you the story of my morning in Leary. Let's see, here it goes. Went to the store, put my feet on the floor, bought a loaf of bread on the top side of your head, made a pot of tea, monkeys in the sea, and shared it all with you. Bottom of the blue. Oi! Triple little light fantastic!